Hey AJ, I was taking a look at your question about stress testing. It's a really good question, and it's something that we have a good solution for, but I wouldn't say that anybody I've ever met has a perfect solution for. And we work with some really huge companies and some really slick companies. There are bigger companies that have in full QA teams, like for example Mailchimp, that has a fair sized QA team. I have some friends on that team that have fully featured stress testing systems in place. But for most small SaaS businesses, we use Selenium, we use Catalan to do the front end testing, and we use PHP Unit to do unit testing. However, the stress testing, what we'll generally do is we'll actually run a server stress test. And I don't actually know how our sysadmins do that. They'll, I don't even know how they do it, but they'll stress test the server load to see at what point things fail. So it's kind of separated. I think that what you're asking for is maybe something that does a little bit of the front end stuff and the stress testing, but it's really separate kind of. It is absolutely separate functionality. Um, Let me look at your question real quick. You said, so what's my favorite and how to test for realistic speed without having adequate data? User concurrency and speed, for the most part. You can also run things like New Relic that'll give you data on how quick the server's responding. And if your server drops below a certain threshold, then you'll get notified immediately. Or if your server starts running out of space and storage or RAM or whatever, you start getting notifications on that. I think that's kind of what you're looking for there. When it comes to actual like regression testing, unit testing, my favorite is Catalan. I really like the way that does the front end testing, the way it tests the DOM, the way that it puts everything together. But the thing to remember is that when you're doing tests, you're going to be looking at an additional 10 to 20% budget or time or spend on the project, because you need to build those tests as you get along after you get to MVP point. So, you can build it if you know that you have a market and you're already integrated into the market and you're building something that's going to be sold immediately, then I would build tests immediately. But if you are moving into a new market, sorry, shake that so bad. If you're moving into a new market, then I would say I usually get to MVP and then I start building tests after I have pretty solid validation that I'm not going to spend all this extra money. But when it comes into doing that, the way we do that is when we're sprinting on any particular sprint. The sprint definitions, the issues are defined by the tests they complete. So what that means is that when you write up the issue, you can say like, this is the feature, this is the sub feature, or this is the problem, whatever. You also have to write up the test. So you're going to say like, it's going to pass this test and these things. So when the developer builds the feature or the fix or whatever it is or implements the thing, they also have to go into Catalan or Selenium or whatever and build the test. Or you can have a separate person doing it. It really depends on the size of the project and what's going on. But as long as you're building those tests as you go along, you have a super, super smooth project once you get into it. The other part to consider is that you've got this slope on complexity. So as the complexity of the project rises, the number of features rise, the amount of time it takes to debug also rises. And if you don't have those tests in there, you get to this point where the amount of time it takes to test is greater than the amount of time it takes to build the features. So at that point, you hit that inflection point, and then you're just like, I have no choice. But if you've gotten to that point, you've already spent so much money doing manual testing that you're probably way behind on budgets anyway. But it's something to think about. So, but if you go in and you build the tests as you build the entire project, you'd be in much better shape. I hope this is helpful. I know I got a little bit off track. You asked me what my favorite thing was. It depends on what you're building. I mean, sometimes we use Jasmine, sometimes we use Selenium, sometimes we use the PHP unit, sometimes we use all sorts of different things. There's no great answer unless I would know like the tech stack and the like a lot more than just like what's my favorite. My favorite is what's the best for the system. I hope this is helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.